I'm a new wood turner, and as you can see from the breath, the steam from my breath here, that it's a little cold out in my workshop. Tonight it's only I think it's only about -1, so it's not a bad temperature out. I have a shed here, and what I'm going to do is I have some tiger wood here, and as you can see, I've already drawn a circle out and then marked the center. I'm going to drill that out with my drill press. From there, mount it onto my lathe, and I'm going to turn on a bowl. This will only be my second bowl that I've ever made. Hopefully everything will turn out well. Just one thing, as with all people will mention, when doing turnings, you should always have protective gear. I always have a face shield that I wear for parts flying off, and when I'm getting into the finer stuff and sanding, I also have a respirator, which I use because of the fine sawdust that comes from these devices. I hope this is educational. What I want is people that are used to turning to watch the video and tell me where I'm making mistakes. I'm completely self-taught, and I want to find out what I'm doing wrong, what I could do to make it better. So I'm leaving this up to you guys to help me out, and I'm looking forward to all sorts of comments. So let's see how it goes. Which I've pre-drilled a hole to it. I've made it extremely tight so that it doesn't slip off the chuck. So now I'm just screwing the board on. Alright, and that's quite secure there. The lathe that I'm using actually is a Mastercraft, just a small mini lathe. I don't know if it has a number here. Well, it just says 12-inch mini wood lathe. This is just a small wood lathe, but it is very efficient. I find works great. I'm just putting the tailstock in here to help. I probably should have put this. I still might be able to. Yes, I can. Great. The lathe itself is excellent, except for these plastic clips. I find the handles, some of these handles, which you can't see right at the moment, the angle I have, they snap off. The lathe itself is beautiful. They just unfortunately made cheap clips when it came to some of the handles. But you do with what you have. So, just angling this just where I need it, but making sure it doesn't hit. So pre-turning it, just making sure everything looks good there. Tighten up the tailstock a little. Looks good. Now the lathe itself is a variable speed lathe. Getting out my face shield, it's a little dirty here from the last bowl I made. So just clean that off. So I'm starting with the face shield. It is cold out here, so I am going to put some gloves on. And I start out with my bowl gouge. I'm just going to turn it on first slow here, make sure it turns well. And so then with the bowl gouge, I'm just going to slowly shape it. This is the one problem I'm having. Maybe someone can help me. Is that it's taking chips out. I don't know if I'm going too fast, too slow, or what the problem is. If my chisels aren't sharp enough, maybe someone could suggest why they chip out like that on me. That would be great. Now I'm finding that my bit here is getting a little dull, so I'm actually going to sharpen it. I do this freehand on a grinder because I don't have any adapters or anything like that, so I do it freehand, and I do all right, I think. We'll see, but again, I'm open to any suggestions. As you can see, this is what happens when I do these. I caught here and took a big section out. Luckily, I still have a fair amount to cut down, so I should be fine, I think, to be able to repair that nick. But I don't know why I keep getting those nicks. Just cut a tenon in here. As you can see, these clips don't hold very well at all. Now I've put a tenon in as deep as I need to be able to mount the chuck on after. I cut it in, and actually I probably want to go a little deeper now that I look. Now that I have the tenon the size I want, this is where I'll shape the bowl down so that it matches here at the bottom. Hopefully I won't destroy the bowl. I'm going to start with the Mastercraft here, the sandpaper. I'm going to start with the 120. All I do is take a small piece of sandpaper, turn the lathe down, and give it a quick sanding. Now I see that my tailstock is too low. As I said, these clips break very easily in this lathe, so I have to manually use a pair of pliers. So if anyone from Mastercraft listening, that is the one flaw with your lathe. Now, I see people do this all the time. I don't know why, but we'll give her a go.
but they rub it with sawdust. If somebody could tell me why you do that, I'd love to know. So that was 320. Or 220, sorry. Then I usually take a piece of paper towel and just buff it down a little bit. Then from here on, I actually use just mineral oil here. All I'm going to do is put mineral oil on the sandpaper. And so this is what we have right now. We have this bulb length, we have the finished product. So it's coming. So this is the bottom. I've made this tenon, which I'm going to now put into the chuck. Remove the tailstock up. This is where I may be making some mistakes. So I'm open to suggestions. I'm going to try hollowing it out first. Usually with spindle chisel, I've got a small one here. Sometimes I've used that, or I'll go to the middle of the road side. I'm going to start middle here now. I do so much, and then I go and pick up the scraper. So, we'll start here with this. Sometimes I overpower the lathe. Using the bowl gouge for this. I've tried and I kind of made a mistake. Yeah, I'm just going to make a mistake. So I'm going to go back to it.